And we are live. You want to go back to the...
Ready? Oh.
So, first of all, welcome. Welcome, everybody. Thank you for dropping in today on our first of many informational workshops, because I believe people can hold the information to your next step. So you have to get the information out. So first of all, thank you guys for coming up, showing in the building. So hand clap for you guys. Thank you so much. So first off, we want to say thank you to Moderator Collins for allowing us to use the space today. So since he graced us with his presence today, I just want him to say just a few quick words, and then he's going to open us up in prayer.
Good afternoon. I understand Transamerica. We're good?
Yep.
Transamerica. For some reason or another, I seem to have heard that name somewhere else. I'm not for sure, but either way, we're very grateful to be able to host you here today at Kimber Center. We hope and pray that you all have a wonderful time while you're here. And not only that you will receive the knowledge that you need to advance whichever project that you're dealing with furthermore. Other than that, we thank God that you made us here safely, and that when it's all said and done, that you'll be able to return home safely as well, and that your family will be protected while you're away from them. Let us pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for all that you have prepared. We thank you that you allowed us to rise early this morning in our right mind, being able to travel and go from one place to another. Without your blessings, we know not where we would be. So we ask you to bless them today as they are here to gather knowledge and wisdom that will aid them in the further ventures of their lives. We ask you to bless the food that they're about to receive, the nourishment in body and soul. And we thank you for our directors, Lord, that they have saw fit to bring this team together here in Warsaw today. In Jesus' holy name, let all of God's children say amen.
Amen.
Amen. God bless you.
Thank you, moderator.
We'll see y'all around the corner.
So I did not introduce myself. My name is Lakeisha Williams. I am from Kenansville, although born and raised here. I currently reside in Clayton, North Carolina, but I work all over. So I did want to introduce myself as the agent. So I am your agent today. So the purpose of our workshop here today is just to educate you, to empower you. Okay. Just to educate and empower you into commercial real estate. If investing or increasing your investment portfolio is what you want to do, you are in the right place today. So first, I would definitely like to introduce the lady with the plan, and she's the lady with the money. So we definitely want her in the building. We have got Miss Ruth Williams here today. She has over 25 years of experience in the mortgage industry. So when I don't know if any of you ever bought a house, any kind of property, you want a very knowledgeable loan officer. And you want somebody that knows the ins and outs, and because she wants to take you to the closing table. Like a lot of people are getting a transaction, and my end goal is to get to the closing table. So we have a very knowledgeable woman here that has a facet of experience. So if you are trying to get to the closing table, this is the woman that you need behind you. She is a grandmother. She's a great friend. I've only known her for a few months now, but she can tell you that her and I can get on the phone and we talk like we've been buddies since high school. But she is a very people person, and I love that she will take the time to really sit and explain what you're about to embark on. And if she say we can work it this way, let's go this way. This is the lady that you need on your team, and she's a woman of faith. So if you know anybody, you know you want somebody that has faith, a woman of faith on your team. So without further ado, I didn't write nothing she said because I've just known her just for the last few months, and we have just gained a valuable relationship. So, but without further ado, I just want to bring up Miss Ruth Williams.
All right, thank you guys. First of all, I want to say thank you again for being here. Everyone that's in the room, everybody that's on Facebook, we're excited. So I want you to take a deep breath. It's a lot of information. You're probably going to feel like a sponge that somebody has turned on the water hose, and you're going to be like, but you have the PowerPoint takeaway information. Anyone that's online that would like the PowerPoint, just inbox us with your email and we'll get that over to you. We're going to have a session at the end for questions and answers. We're going to stick around a little bit because some people sometimes are shy. You don't want to raise your hand and ask your question. No, just pull us off to the side after the program and we'll talk, but we will hold all questions to the end of the presentation. All right, so let's get started. So for all of y'all who do not know, I'm Ruth Williams. I'm the owner of Business Solutions Financial Consultants, and everyone calls me the funding lady, okay? Funding money. And I'm a commercial broker. So what is a commercial broker? A commercial broker is a qualified and experienced financial broker who has multiple relationships in place and can offer a wide range of lending options. I'm not the check writer, but we partner with local banks and out-of-state lenders to assist our clients with packaging their loan, matching them with the lender to get a yes and not a no, and we take you all the way to the closing table. How we are compensated, we need to get all this off the table now. We do charge a fee on the loan amount, not the purchase price, and it depends on the type of loan that you're going to obtain. We don't collect any money up front. It's part of your closing costs and it's collected in your closing. And the fees range from 2% to 3.5%. Anyone that have bought a home or did any type of financing know that lending institution called charge points. So percentage and points is the same thing. Now that we've gotten that out of the way, let's talk about how to get you access to the money. So do we have any pastors, church people in here today? Know anybody that want to build, buy a church? All right, this is for you. So the first thing we're going to talk about is church financing, which is one of our niche products. We learned that during the pandemic time, it became very difficult for churches to obtain financing because the loan is based on the revenue, the tithes and offering that's coming in. A lot of banks even stop offering church financing, but we have partnered with local banks, that they're community oriented, and community banks like to give back to their community. So we have some awesome banks that love partnering with our churches for the finances. And here's a list of things that you need. It looks like a lot, but we have to tell your story to the bank. So it's the churches now, EIN number, article of incorporation, 12 months of bank statements, checking, saving, etc. 3 years of financials, P&Ls. So we're in 22, so they're looking for 19, 20, 21, and then 22, January of through whatever month you're looking to obtain your loan. History of the church, the pastors or the overseers bio, amount of salaries that the pastor or any of the staff receive, list of all of the officers at their position. Your church ministries, because you have to tell your story. Number of members on the roll, age group, number of titles, top 12 titles, monthly amount, monthly revenue, name of it, if you have a Facebook website. They want to know, how did your church fare during COVID? Were you streaming? Are you back in your church? How are you hosting and having services in the church? Also, we need to look at your expenses of the church, which is the utilities, etc. Assets of the church. If you have church vans, furniture, all these things go into your financial portfolio. A copy of your bylaws. Now this part here, and this is what I want everyone to know. On our churches, there is no personal guarantee. Did you hear that? The pastor or anyone, the deacons, do not have to sign on the loan. the church is going to stand on its own. So that's the reason all of this information is important. So, but we do need a copy of the sign because the church is an entity. It can't sign, so the pastor, trustees, whoever that the church has delegated in their bylaws that has the authority to sign on mortgages and decision-making on behalf of the church. That's who will sign on the loan, but the church itself will be responsible for the loan, not that individual. Also, we're going to ask for a social security number, and the reason for that is not to pull credit, but when we take you to a bank, we're taking you to build a relationship with the bank. So they're going to want you to open an account. So of course you want to put your money in their bank. Now they don't require you to move all your accounts. So what we say to our clients are, open up the account that you're going to pay your mortgage out of. Once you see how the relationship goes, you may want to move your accounts because evidently the bank you're with didn't give you a loan. They don't value your relationship. So now, so that's what the Social Security number would be, is to open the checking account, okay? And then all churches have accounts, and it's more than one signer on there. So those are the people whose information would be going on the checking account, okay? We would need to know the name of your insurance company. If you're building, of course, you would determine who's going to insure the church. The name of the attorney, address, and phone number, who you choose to close your loan. Now, in the event the church does not have a relationship with an attorney, we do. We close loans all over the United States, so we have attorney relationships that we can refer you to, and insurance companies as well. If you are building a church and you don't have an insurance company, we certainly can refer you to someone if you don't have one. So the main things we want to point out here is church finance is no personal guarantee. We do have references that we can give to the churches, a list of churches and pastors that we've closed that is more than welcome to speak with you about their experience with us. And we offer church loan purchases, refinance, renovation, or construction of new churches. So a lot of our churches that we work with are in a building that they're renting. Sometimes they want to buy what they're in. It's a great opportunity because there's a lot of ways to construct that loan where the church don't have to come out of pocket with a lot of money. If you have the right motivated seller, sometimes they will give you a large credit back, a portion of the rent that you've paid. So that's a great scenario for our churches to get into a building. And we always, when we work with our churches, we want to always have a situation where we're not leaving the church strapped, meaning using all of their cash to get into the loan, because the banks want to see that you have liquidity. As we know, when the pandemic came along, people wasn't going into the buildings. Sometimes they wouldn't, we saw where tires didn't tie, so that is the revenue for the church. So there's a lot of ways to work with churches to get you into your church loans. Next slide, ma'am. Okay, what do we do with all this information? We've asked you for a lot of information, right? So this is what our church application looks like. So we take this information and translate it into this document. It's a 4-page document that tells your story, okay? Malfunction on the equipment.
So sorry.
Which is my beautiful daughter, which I'll introduce her later. So all of this information we put here. So the step, and let's go here and talk about the financials. What we see with a lot of our churches, you may not have your financials prepared by CPA or accounting. Most churches have some type of software. They put their information in and compile the information. Once we assess what form of accounting system you have. You may need to have the need to have it prepared by an accountant, because there's a format that the bank want to see. So that's where we help our churches put everything in proper format that's acceptable to the bank. So when we take it into the bank, we get you that yes. And we've already, based on your church size, if you're a small church, we know which one of our banks love working with our smaller churches. So when we match you with a lender, it's a perfect fit for what you're trying to obtain. These are the things that would go in the package: the bylaws, the article of incorporation, the social security number, a contract is the purchase, it's the refinances will help you obtain the payoffs. We submit the package to the bank. We're the liaison between you and the bank. When the loan is approved, the bank will issue what's called a commitment letter. Then we call you up, we go over with the pastors and all the powers that be, the terms of the loan, which would be the interest rate, the loan amount, what the payments would be, all of that good stuff. And then the commitment letters is issued with conditions, which is usually your title, they need an appraisal, they may need some additional information. So we work with the church to collect that information, submit it into the bank. Then, once we do that, the bank fully underwrites it. They give you a clear to close. Well, no, they order the appraisal. We're moving towards closing. After the appraisal come back, everything has been approved. We set up the loan closing with the chosen attorney, and we attend closing. So we're there with you, cheering you on at the closing table. So, but prior to closing, because remember, we're building a relationship with the bank, we actually set the meeting up where the banker, and we always work with the VPs of the bank, the decision makers at the time. They will physically come out, sit down with the pastors, whoever they meet, the decision makers. They'll just talk a little bit, get to see the building you're buying, build that relationship, talk about the different accounts they can offer you. Sometime if you're ready to go ahead on and set the account up, they'll bring a signature card out, all the information, everything is done right there, okay? And that's it. I do have a business partner that was supposed to be here today. She's supposed to took that off. He's not. That works along with us on the church loans. There's only one fee. He and I split commission, so it's not two fees for each company. Next slide. Okay. So now we've talked about church loans. So now this, what we're going to talk about going forth, is not church loans, but loans for investors, business owners. This is all the products that if you're not purchasing a church, what you need to be bank ready. Okay, so we're talking about bank ready clients with high credit scores. You know, they have 3 years of financials that's showing a profit. They have their P&Ls in place, personal profit and loss statement, personal financial statement. This is the people that we're talking about. So the first step is when you're bank ready, they're looking for a 660 plus credit score, right? Great credit history, no past due payments, etc. 3 years of personal and business tax return filed. So you have to have filed your tax return and showing a profit that's going to qualify you for your loan. Your current profit and loss statement, because we will be in 2022, so that's that profit and loss statement from January through the month that you're obtaining the loan. We have you to fill out a personal financial statement, which is a snapshot of your personal financial situation. We provide the form. You need money in the bank for your down payment and your closing costs. Your down payment could range from 5% to 35%. I don't know where the 3 come from, but that's 5, typographic area 5, that's 5%. The 5% down payment is, one of our banks that's in the Triangle area, the Raleigh area, they have a PLL program. And if you're a business owner doing business in that area, and you're gonna occupy the business, it's only 5% down. That's huge. Not every bank offers that program. So if you're not in that area, and the bank that we are matching with don't offer it, then you're looking at from 20, 25, sometimes up to 35% down, okay? What will this cover? This type of financing is good for office, if you're buying an office building, daycare centers, etc. This is one of the programs that we would look at putting you in. Next slide. Okay, now we're talking about our investor loan. This is for our investors that wants to buy and hold for rental income, fix and flip. So anybody familiar with what a fix and flip is? If you want to do new constructions, say you want to build an apartment complex. And it's investment, this is for you. Multifamily, meaning 1 to 4 unit properties, duplexes. This program is going to be for you. So now, this is where it gets very interesting, guys. I can finance just about any commercial property. Single family, 1 to 4 unit, fix to flip, buying whole apartment building, multifamily, office building, mixed use properties. Mixed use properties is where you've seen in some of our cities like Fayetteville, downtown Fayetteville, if you're familiar with that. They have retail on the bottom and residential on the top. That's a mixed use building. Yes, we can finance that. Warehouses, a lot of people do, you see self-storages everywhere. We can finance those. And that's just to name a few. Under these products, you can do existing building or you can build you something. We cover all 50 states. So here is the interesting part. You know, we've talked about tax returns, good credit, and all those things you got to have. Well, on these loans, guess what? They're called non-qualifying loans. What does that mean? No documentation. Okay, y'all both said fell out. Yeah. That means no tax return. So if you're that business owner, investors that haven't filed your 20 tax returns, your 2021, not your 2022, hey, we got you. This is the perfect program for you. All right, I'm not going to ask you to raise their hand on that one. Okay, this program is underwritten based on the property's cash flow and the borrower's credit. Credit is a big part of this because it's a no-doubt loan, right? So the only thing they're going, what the property is the collateral to secure the loan, but to determine if you're going to pay this loan back, it's your credit history, how you paid your bill. Because how the banks look at it is, this is an investment property. If for some reason you get in a financial bind, what's the first property you're going to let go? Your investment, because you're going to always try to keep the roof over your head. That's your primary residence, okay? And so this program is underwritten based on property cash flow, meaning the property you're buying, is it going to make a profit? Once you cover your mortgage, expenses, what's your cash flow on, okay? And the borrower's credit, as we said, credit rather than borrower's income. So they are not looking at debt ratio. We've heard that term before. How much money you got coming in versus how many debts will determine how much more buying power you have. In this scenario, that is not a factor. It's called debt servicing. Is the property making cash flow to cover the debt, and you make profit as well, okay? So this is perfect for investors and self-employed investors, building real estate portfolios, and generational wealth, okay? So qualification, credit score 660 up, proof of funds. Now, if anyone has bought a home, the first thing they want to see is 3 months bank statement, because the money has to be seasoned. Over here, it doesn't. You can go under the bed, pull the money out, and go put it in the bank. The only thing that it will do, because of the $10,000, Mr. RS is looking at you, but you don't have to have proof of funds. You can put the money in the bank today. Once it show up, you know how you bank online and you pull up your balance and it shows your current balance? All I need to see that, because it's going to have your name and the name of the bank. That's your proof of funds. You don't have to go to the bank and get a proof of funds letter. Of course, they're going to want to see a current bank statement as we're moving towards closing to verify that money is still in the bank. Your down payment plus closing costs. So on the commercial side, it's a little different. We've seen on the residential side, a lot of sellers is not paying for your closing costs. On the commercial side, very seldom do they pay your closing costs. So when you go into investing and purchasing commercial building, you need to be cash heavy, okay? The property cash flowing, down payments range from 20 to 25%. Since the market has taken a turn with the rates going up, we have seen that the amount they loan you is less. You're having to come to the table with more, because prior to this, we did have lenders that would only require 10% down. Now, what I am seeing is, as the market gets better, they're loosening up and they are increasing the LTV. So what you're seeing here is not the end all be all, but it will be driven by what the market is doing. So maybe by the time that if you're not ready now, and this is something you're interested in doing, this will have relaxed and it's less cash in jail. So this is the market we're in now, okay? Next slide. All right, so still talking about commercial properties. So I'm sure someone in this room was thinking this. I heard you. Yes, you can close an LLC, okay? So an LLC protects you now from your personal credit, and you still use your personal credit, but your liability, it's in your company's name, your LLC. This particular lender here, their loan amount is from $300,000 to $3 million. They multifamily, multi-use. They also, which we haven't seen but now is available, is a fixed 30-year mortgage. Some people want a fixed 30-year mortgage. Depending on your strategy for buying your investment properties, not everyone wants a 30-year mortgage. You know, if you're doing a fix and flip, of course you don't want a 30-year mortgage. You want an interest only. It's a short-term loan, because you're going to buy it, you're going to fix it up, you're going to flip it, you're going to put it on the market. So you want the minimum payment during that process, which will be an interest only. The only time you would look at doing a 30-year mortgage if you're buying an apartment building or something, Lord, that you know you're not going to refinance no time soon. You want that fixed payment, because that's going to work with your cash flow. So when you're an investor, there's a lot of options out there for you to get to your end game to help you create generational wealth through a portfolio. Again, no personal DTI, no tax return, qualified based on your cash flow. Purchase, refinance, cash out loans can qualify under this particular program. So if you already own investment property and you have a lot of equity in it, or it may be free and clear, and you're looking to pull that equity out to purchase another investment, reinvest in something else, great program for you. Next slide. All right. So you've been seeing 660 credit scores. So not everybody has perfect credit. Life happens, things have happened, divorce, whatever, right? So if you were in the room and you were saying, dang, I'm out of the game. Oh, no, you're in the game. We do have programs for people with less than perfect credit. And this particular lender, wow, they started $50,000. Should get excited because somebody said, I'm in the game. I can walk by me a little house now. I'm in here. I'm in here now. Yes, you're in here now. So property types, most producing income properties qualify. You can also, under this program, if you're a business owner and you've been renting, you're tired of paying rent, you're at the point where you say, you know what, I'm going to buy my own building, put my business in it. Hey, you're in there. You can under this program. So it's for investors and if you're going to occupy the building yourself. Hey, this is a great program. Say you want to buy a mixed-use property. That's a lot of income producing, right? Because you're going to have retail on the bottom. So now you can put your friend, girl, you can put your hair salon over there. You can put your beauty shop. You can put if you're selling hair products, whatever it is, clothes, boutiques. And guess what? You can live up on the top and rent everything else out. And put your business in there. Great program for that. Okay, I just thought somebody's shaking their head. Oh, you just gave me an idea how I'm going to become financially wealthy. Yes, this is for you. Okay, so rates start in the mid-60s. They're flexible. Of course, the rate's going to be driven by your credit score, and you can get a 30-year fix because you may be that person that's going to, this is your first commercial deal, you're going to do a mixed-use property, you're starting out and you're like, I need to know what my payments is. Once you crunch all your numbers, I need a fixed payment because my strategy at 5 years, I'm going to refinance and I may have gotten a higher interest rate, but I will refinance, but I know I'm locked in. So there's a lot of flexibility in this loan, okay? The one thing that drives this loan is the mortgage history. Now, there is no minimum credit score requirement. But what they're going to look at is you have to own a home, own something with a mortgage that has a perfect history on it. And then there's a lot of people that fit into that. They may be late on their credit cards, they may be late on their car payment, but they have never been late on their mortgage. Perfect product for them, okay? It is going to have a prepayment penalty. And what that means is if you refinanced it or sold it in the first 3 to 4 years, they're going to penalize you and make you pay a little extra on the payoff. But if you're locking in at 30 years, and that's still not a bad thing because if you're investing in a property of this type, you're going to be holding it probably more than 3 to 4 years. So if your plan is for it to build up equity, you feel in 5 years you're going to be able to make the money you want, you're going to put it on the market and sell it, hold it to 5 years, and then you pass that point, okay? This particular program covers all states except these right here. So North Carolina, where we are, South Carolina, we're in there. Ineligible deals. Now, if you was thinking about buying a gas station, not under this program. I can do it, but not under this program. Assisted living facilities. This particular bank will not finance it. On-site dry cleaners, land, no land, and major rehab construction. So what major rehab means, if you're buying that investment property, and it's $50,000. You know, it's just a shell, but it's a good foundation, and you gotta put $100,000 of work in it. Won't work for this program, but we do have programs that it will work for, okay? Or if you want to build something ground up, won't work for this particular program. Next slide. Okay. Wow. Take a deep breath. Y'all still with me? Do we need to stop and do jumping jacks? Have you went to sleep? We good? All right. Y'all want more?
Yeah.
Okay, let me hear you.
More.
Okay, all right. So this is some good stuff right here. So SBA loans. How many of you have heard of the SBA loan before? Right. So if you don't know a lot about them, let's kind of give you a little brief overview. So SBA loans is perfect for startups and existing business. When you're starting up a business, you know, sometimes it's very hard to go in to the bank. Sell your idea, you've never done it before. You think you got a great idea. I can make money off of this. And the bank is saying, it's too high. And they just shoot you down. And you come out there thinking, but I know I can make this work. SBA, perfect for that. So we have several lenders that offer SBA loan. It is a credit-driven program. They usually want 670 or above. Sometimes they'll do 660 if you have lower than that. And if you have derogatory credit or things on your credit that needs to be explained, you may have had that one late on your car payment. You didn't intend to be late. Life was going on, and the 15 hit you, and you realize, dang, I didn't pay my car payment. You know, it was over 30 days. They reported late. That's an explanation. You know, so you just have to write a letter of explanation. They do require a business plan. So the business plan is going to talk about, of course, your business, your idea. Excuse me. Your idea, why you feel this is just the best thing since peanut butter and jelly, and they need to give you some money to do it, right? In your business plan, they also want to see your competition. What's your competition in the area? How is that going to affect your business, or it's not going to affect? You know, it's always good to have healthy competition in different businesses. Normally, it's 20% down. And that's a hard and fast 20. The market hasn't driven them to change it to more. So it's 20% down. And the money needs to, it can come from your checking, savings, 401k, stocks, etc. 10% down, I didn't put that there. 10% down, they do allow 10% down if you have experience. So say you're starting up, you're buying a franchise, because you can buy a franchise on this. Yes, you can buy a franchise. So if you want to bring a Dave & Buster's here, guess what? Hey, you can bring a Dave & Buster's. But the 10% would be, say you didn't have experience actually running a Dave & Buster's, but you had a history or a resume of management. You've managed somebody else's Dave & Buster's. So that will count as experience, and you only have to put down 10%, okay? They're going to look for 3 years of personal or business tax return. Yes, we're back to the tax return. Got to file your taxes. And if you're a W-2, they want to see your W-2 or your 1099 if you're 1099. We help you complete the SBA package, and we provide you all the SBA forms. We match you with the bank because we know which SBA lenders like what type of business. What's going to be a good fit for you. The turnaround time for SBA loans to close can be anywhere from 30 to 90 days, but it's really higher between your 60 and 90. It's a little process you have to go through. Okay? If borrowers are employed and you have secondary income, you're going to need, of course, your documents for that. Rates are based on prime rate, so that's a moving target. So it depends on what the prime rate is, and it's always plus 2.75. So once we actually get a deal, you're looking at something, we'll quote the rate, because what I quote today may not be what it is if you decide to do something. So loans is perfect for small business owner, real estate attached, and non-real estate. So what that means is, say you want to open up a restaurant, but you don't want to buy a building. You just want to open up ABC Ruth's Kitchen, okay? Well, they will allow you to lease the building and put your business in there. What's great about SBA, they allow you to add in money to cover if you have to go in and upfit that building. Say it's a building like this, but you're putting in a restaurant, so you gotta put in the stove, the vent, all that stuff. You need table. They will allow you to borrow that money in addition into that. Also, they allow you to build in money to cover salaries, utilities, because they want to set you up for success, to give you time for the business to make money. Make sense? And isn't that a great program? Okay, hand clap right there. All right, guys. Next slide. Okay. Now this is great too. So we also offer business loans and lines of credit. Right? So you start your business, you need some money, right? Okay? So this is kind of like a little overview. Small business loan, lines of credit, business cash advance. So say you got some type of business and you use credit cards. That's called merchant cash advance. So you can get a loan based on what your average sales have been, future sales, okay? Bridge loan. If you need a little cash, while waiting for a loan approval on long-term financing, this is like a bridge loan in between you getting another loan, okay? 3 steps. You apply, get approval in just a few hours, access the fund as fast as 1 day. They do take low, I'm just going to pop out a few things, down to 550 credit scores. These are the terms. Judgments. If the business have judgments, can't be over 150. These are the minimum loans. You got to borrow at least 5,000, and these are the max loans you get. Lines of credit, you can go up to 55,000. If you're actually doing a loan, you can go up to 600. I think that's a number that may ring for somebody in this room. All right, and there is no origination fee on the loans or the merchant cash, but of course it's a line of credit. Everyone knows how lines of credit work. When you draw for it, there's a fee. So if you use that type of loan, you want to draw what you know you're going to need, so you don't have to keep going back and getting fees. I see somebody is yawning. Do we need to do jumping jacks? Everybody good? Okay. All right. So these are some of the restrictions. Gas stations, insurance agents that they don't like to do business with, but they will. They're just going to require a few more things from them to qualify. You can't have any bankruptcies, and if you're already in business, they're going to be looking for 3 months of bank statements, because to determine what you qualify, they're looking at your revenue that's coming through your business, okay? It's an application and a soft credit pool. If you have multiple businesses, each business would have to do a loan under each entity's an EIN. That's it. Next one. All right. We also do equipment financing. Yay! So if this covers a lot, from the trucking industry to any type of equipment. If you have a tree service company, you need to buy a piece of equipment to grind up the stumps or cut the trees, whatever. All of that falls in it. So it's very unique program. So when they say equipment, anything that's essential to doing, operating the business pretty much falls under here. So, to get 100%, you gotta have a 700 credit score. If you're under 700, we do have a lot of flexible programs to put you in. Okay? Next. All right. We've been talking about credit score, credit score, credit score. So I like to send my clients to Credit Check Total. And the reason I like Credit Check Total because the scores that you pull is going to be compatible to what the bank pulls. So this is a soft credit score pull for you. You can get all 3 scores for $1. Okay, we do have to do the disclaimer. So you get that $1 your credit score for 7 days trial membership. So what you want to do is pay that $1, print out your credit score with all 3 credit reports, and cancel it immediately. But they do have monitoring services to monitor your credit. If your credit is low, they give you ideas of how to increase your credit. So it's only $29.99 a month. I am not affiliated with Credit Check Total at all, but I just do like the way they set up, and I do know that the scores are compatible to what my bank is going to get. So when you call me out of town and say, what's your credit score? I think, according to Credit Karma, and you know, I got a credit card, and they said, and then we do the paperwork, and the bank said, no, denied, because your credit score didn't. And we were like, no. So now you can know, okay? Great. All right, next slide. All right, so we do have a program that is very extensive, where we teach you and can show you how to build business credit under your EIE. Okay, that's a clap right there.
Yeah.
So what does that mean? That means that it is not, I think I'm going to stop it. It is not linked to your social security number. So you can have toe-up credit, but building some great business credit, and keep moving, right? But we would encourage you to work on your personal credit. Okay, so does not attach to your social security number, cash flow. When we talked about cash flow, no collateral is required. But for this program, like I said, it's very extensive. So please call me and schedule a free consultation. All right, next slide. All right. Questions and answers. Okay. I'm ready for you guys. Oh, she the hostess, so she got a question. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am, Miss Lakeisha.
Credit Check Total. You said that score
Let's go back.
is very close to.
It is compatible with what from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian that all the lending institutions pull. It's going to be right in line with what's truly when they pull it as well.
Yeah.
And it's a soft pull.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
And it's a great way to assess your credit, you know, to see what's on it. Because we all have been to the bank and you thought you're good, and then they say, but you was like, what? I forgot that. Or you could have errors in your credit report, discrepancy. So this is a great way to see if your credit healthy or what's in your credit report, and not let somebody else get over you. You can say, oh no, I know that's not mine. And then give you an opportunity to correct the everything that's not correct on the credit report. Okay? Now there's a whole class on credit. You know, if y'all want me to come back and do that, talk about how to improve your credit scores, we can do that. But you gotta ask us that. Can't give you everything just one time. Yes, ma'am.
So when they're checking your credit, which entity are they looking at?
And it depends on which lender. Some people use Experian, some people use TransUnion. It just depends. Your question was what score they're looking at?
Which one are they using, TransUnion, Experian, or which one is used mostly?
When you buy a mortgage, they look at the middle of the three. On this side of it, some use Experian, some use Equifax. So what I would do is ask the lender, which credit score are you looking at? Then we would know. But it varies on the commercial side. Okay? Next slide. Next slide. Okay? Any other questions? I know y'all got questions. I did so good. I answered your question. Yes, ma'am.
You said that you would need a business plan.
For the SBA? Yes,
Is that
ma'am.
the only one you need a business plan?
Yes,
for?
ma'am. Mhm. When you use the bank products, they have like a little questionnaire we fill out. So it's like, it's not a business plan to just ask you a question. SBA is the only one that is very, have a stickler, that's one of their requirement, a detailed business plan. Okay? Any other questions?
I'm good with business plans.
What did she say? Did I have a good
I
comment?
said, do you help with the exception business plans or no? That's not.
Yes, ma'am, I will. Go back to the very first slide. Very first slide.
One more. Which one? You said first.
Business Solutions Financial Consultants, it's gonna be at the end. We are your business solution. So yes, ma'am, so that's when we're a financial consultant. So under that, when you become my client, I'm there, anything that you need, I'm there to help you. Now, I do have a large network. I think I know everything, but I don't. I can't do everything. So I have a large network of people that I can connect you to. But yes, ma'am, I can help you write your business. All right, can you get us back to where we was? Questions? Any more questions?
So
Yes,
would,
ma'am.
so would you do a workshop like on building, business credit?
Yes, ma'am. I will.
Put that in the back of your mind.
Okay. Yes, ma'am, I will. Any other questions? Okay, next slide. I think this is the best part of the program. Is this the best part? Oh, no, prizes and gifts. Okay. All right, so now for the fun part, and hopefully to reward you guys for coming. We're gonna do our, can we put the lights on? For a moment. Okay, so, the drawings is you, she ain't reading.
Sorry.
Well, let's go back.
Oh, I thought you were looking at me for a second.
So,
So, she's gotta get ready for the drawing, okay? Well, she was wearing so many hats, I had the baby confused. You
So
got-
let's-
You got everything in our drawings? You got all the numbers? We got 1, 2, 3. I got 1, 2, 3, 4 lions in here. Oh, no, I got 6.
That's
Okay. All right, we're ready again. Wait a minute, we have to prize people. You don't have to run. We're gonna wait, take a few minutes, get everybody get back in the room.
so yeah, she went to,
No, we're gonna give everybody time to get back.
so can we do this then, and we can just do the drawings at the end, since we have
You are the facilitator, ma'am. You can
Miss,
do it.
Rebecca, with Transamerica that dropped in on us today.
Yes.
So I just want her to come introduce herself, and we'll also drop her information on the, I know, it's
Bright light.
Right. You're still again. She's gonna present her own. gift, but yes,
Yes. So, I just want her to say something, and then, we did not have any questions on Facebook Live, so I'm probably gonna go ahead and stop the live. But thank you guys for Facebook Live, if you popped on, the information will still be there. After Rebecca finishes, then I'll stop the live, and then we'll do the drawings.
So we have Miss Rebecca with Transamerican Insurance Network, and she's gonna tell you all about her.
Hello, everyone. I'm Rebecca Gibbs with Transamerica Agency Network out of Fayetteville. What I am is a life insurance agent. I specialize in life insurance. I do disability, accident, final expense. I also work with businesses, so we can do buy-sell agreements, key person. I do long-term care. I have several options, and I'm available with 30 carriers, and I can also do, if you're looking for mortgage protection, or if you have a pastor in your church, you can put that person as a key person, and we can do policies on that. I have any options, and I can help you with everything. Thank
Don't
you.
leave, don't go. I'm going to piggyback on two main things she said here, guys. When you do church loans, when they're over $1 million, they will require that the pastor have key man insurance on him. So that was a biggie. And then another thing that we didn't talk about because she's here is when you're a business owner or you go into business with a partner. You never think about life insurance because we haven't been taught that. So you go into business with a partner and something happens to that partner, God forbid. Now you got the business on your own. Or the other part of this, suppose the partner has a spouse.
It's left to the spouse, and they don't give the money to the business. We've run into some situations with that.
Or you can take that money and buy that spouse out. So those are two things that I want, the other things we know, life insurance, we don't think about long-term care. I know I have to have long-term care, but they're gonna put me in a nursing home. That one right there, she tried to be a jet set girl. Mama, I got to talk about with you. Long-term care is something that we, and I'm saying for myself that, because we just not taught. We think about car insurance, homeowners insurance, but when you're a business owner and this is your livelihood and you're building generational wealth for your children, an incident could happen and create a whole different situation. So those are things I just want to interject as well, because we're here to change our lives for the better. We're here to, my story is, God just gave me this knowledge, allowed me to use all the knowledge of 20 years of being in the mortgage title world to be able to create my own business to help people's dreams come true, to help them get access to the money when they may not have known how to get there. So I want to share as much knowledge with you that I've learned on my journey to get where I am, okay? So thank you, Ms. Rebecca.
Thank you.
One more, the last slide. And then we'll do the drawing. So again, thank you.
Here's our contact
All
information.
of our contact information is there.
Okay, and if you guys hit this QR code, I'm learning this, she's bringing her mom up to speed. It'll take you straight to our Facebook. She's working on, can I do this right quick? She's working on our website. I want to introduce my daughter, my pride and joy, Miss Tashana Williams. Tashana is a part of Business Solutions Financial Consultants. She is a graphic designer in her last year of school, getting her bachelor's degree. All of my marketing materials, the flyers you saw, my logo, this came to me in a dream. God gave me 3 round circles. That's all I had was 3 round circles, and she created it into this. So she saw the vision. God gave me the title. When He gave me Business Solutions Financial Consultant, I was like, that's a long title. And it was because I was going to have a lot of things under my umbrella, and I didn't know at the time. So just want to give her props. I am the CEO, and she is the CFO and the marketing director.
All right. So, thank you, Ms. Ruth. Thank you, Mr. Sean. Thank you guys for coming out, because I know you're ready to get to the good part. So let's get to the drawing and prizes. Again, Facebook, man, we thank you, and y'all have a good day.
All right.
It's the food part right there.
So the first gift that we're going to give away, I'm in this networking group called BNI. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of